Hello, welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before I get started, I want to thank TV47 for their assistance, and they're really putting on the program for us. We appreciate that so much. I appreciate Robert, especially all the hard work they do for us at the library. Today, my guests are Kimm and Nathan Wright. They have the Pinhoti Outdoor Center, and I feel I'm really unqualified to talk to you because I am not a hiker. I mean, I like to go out to Lake Howard and walk around a little bit, especially maybe in the spring when it's a little warm outside, but it's cool in the woods. But I'm excited to hear about the things y'all are doing. So thank y'all for being here today.
Well, thank you for having us. That's one of our favorite spots too. So love it out there.
Well, the Pinhoti Outdoor Center. Well, let me first ask you. Tell us about yourselves.
Yeah. Sure. Like I said, Nathan and Kimm Wright. We've been in Sylacauga for about 6 years. And I thought one day that I would just move up north to the mountains and until I realized what we had here in Sylacauga, and the Pinhoti Trail and the Talladega National Forest and Flag Mountain. We really just fell in love, and we saw a need for the hikers and the trail to open this service. And you mentioned you don't feel qualified, but that's exactly what we do. We help people that don't feel comfortable necessarily getting out of the woods. We help them plan with logistics and show them something that might not normally do.
That's great. It's always good to learn new things, I think.
Is.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Well, what is the Pinhoti Outdoor Center?
Well, the Pinhoti,
that's a broad question.
It is a very broad question. Basically, we're a hiker hostel and support.
Okay.
We do everything from giving our hikers a place to stay, from planning their trips, organizing their food drops. Okay. There's so many things, so many facets of what the Pinhoti Outdoor Center does, but basically we're just trying to get people to get outside and experience the beautiful trails that we have here in Alabama.
Wow. Well, I looked on your Facebook page, has lots of information. I never thought about when you said food drops. I guess I thought if you were hiking, you had to, hunt and cook your own food. I don't know. I don't know what I thought, or take a bunch of granola bars with you. I don't really know. But what does that all consist of?
So when you're hiking on the trails, we have you might go out for the day, get back to your car. You could also go out for a few days, or some people go out for weeks or months at a time. Wow. So through that long distance hiking, you got to resupply your food. Some people will get to a road gap, they'll maybe get a ride into town, go to a grocery store, and some people will call us and we'll pre-plan some packaged food, and we'll go out there and meet them at the trailhead and drop it off or pick them up and help them out.
Right, yeah. I guess if you start hiking here and you want to stop over here, somebody has to pick you up.
That's right. You got to do some pre-planning. You got to either plan a stage a car, or we do pickups and drop-offs all the time with our shuttle service. So that's something we do.
That's great. That's great. Now I know you said you have a place for them to stay, and we have some slides, I think, from your center. Tell us about your little motto here.
So we tend to focus on hiking because that's what we really love, and that's what the Pinhoti is about. But also, our basic mission is to get people outdoors. So our T-shirt here: run, bike, paddle, hike, get outdoors. That's kind of our chant. We want to get people outside. Whether you want to run, bike, paddle, hike, you can go walk and do whatever. We want to help you get outdoors and make that trip successful.
That's great. I think a lot of people have done that during COVID-19. That's a whole other story.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, tell us.
Yeah, this is an inside shot of our hostel. We actually have 3 bunk beds. We sleep 8. We've got full bath, laundry, kitchen, fire pit out back, porch. There's a sitting area. We've got a little library in there. There's a shot of the bathroom right there in the middle. It's been a great place for hikers to come in, out of the rain, out of the storms, get rest, get resupplied, and to get back out on the trail.
I bet you have met some interesting people along the way.
Hikers are the best.
I bet.
We've spent many hours just visiting, talking to hikers about their journeys. They all have a story. Every hiker has a story, whether it's we're just starting out or we've been hiking for years.
Oh, goodness.
And it's fun to hear some people that don't have homes, and that's what they do is they hike.
Oh, my goodness.
And they do that because that's what they love, and it's great to see people following through on their passion. And so we have met some very amazing, interesting people.
Are they from all over?
All over.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Trying to think farthest.
Yeah.
We've met some from England. We've had hikers come over from England.
Goodness.
So it's all over.
Now that's exciting, and that does a lot for our community. It brings
It
people to Sylacauga
It
from
does.
England and
It
different
does.
places.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said about the number of people that comes into Sylacauga because people think that, hikers, how are they going to affect our community? Well, they really do. They impact our community because they visit our local businesses. They visit our libraries for internet connection and downloading. A lot of them have blogs. A lot of them have stuff that they like to download all their information where they have internet. They visit our local restaurants. They visit our local stores to get resupply. So it really does have a great impact on our community as well.
Men, women,
Children,
Families.
young
Yep.
families.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I know, like I said, I bet you have met a lot of people.
We have. It's been a blast.
Wow.
It's been a
So how
blast.
long have you been open?
Well, we actually opened in January of 2019
Okay.
as a service. We purchased property out on 280, and that's where our hostel is. And it was not ready for opening the building, so it took us a while to get that going.
Oh, okay.
We actually opened the hostel in October of 19, so it's up and running. We're still working here and there on stuff, but it's fully functional hostel. And, we got a great place for people to come park, leave their car long term if they want to leave their car there with us.
Right.
So,
A nice, safe place.
Yeah.
That's right.
You have to worry about all of that now. I hate to say that, but
Yeah,
you do.
that's true.
Yeah, and it's and that's the last thing they want to worry about when they're hiking is where their car's at, and
Right.
so
That's true. Well, that's neat. So you're on Highway 280. You said
are.
we're kind of
We are just south of County Road 150, which is Holman's Crossroad.
Okay.
And that is actually where the Pinhoti Trail crosses Highway 280. So we're about a mile south or toward Alex City from there.
Okay. And how can somebody get in touch with you? I know we had your phone number with your logo
Yeah,
up
you can
there.
go to our Facebook page, Pinhoti Outdoor Center. There's our
There
phone
it
number,
is.
205-202-9525.
you can call or text that number,
That's right.
and you'll reach either one of us.
Okay.
So
Well, great. Well, you now I'll get back to the Pinhoti Trail. That's where you got your name.
Yes.
And you said the Pinhoti Trail actually starts right in there. I thought the Pinhoti Trail started in Georgia. I don't really know. But
Well,
Oh.
the trail is about 350 miles long. So
Okay.
the southern terminus is at Flag Mountain in Coosa County,
Mm-hmm.
down in Weogufka, the Weogufka State Forest. And it travels northeast to North Georgia, where it hits
Okay.
the Benton McKay Trail 350 miles later up above Ellijay, Georgia.
Okay, great. So the Pinhoti is 350.
Right.
That's what you said. Okay. But that's part of the Appalachian
It's
Trail?
part of the Appalachian Mountains.
Mountains,
So the Appalachian Trail technically ends in North Georgia at Springer Mountain. Now, if you want to hike the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, you'll start at Flag Mountain and go north. When it terminates into the Benton McKay Trail, you'll turn southeast on the Benton McKay for 70 miles, and you'll hit Springer Mountain from there. So you can connect
yeah.
from Flag Mountain to Katahdin, and really you can go on into Canada from there and hike
Wow.
all the Appalachian Mountains in North America.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somebody might start in Canada and come all the way to Sylacauga.
We've
They
had
could.
12 this year. This year, through all this mess, we've had 12.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had just 2 go through after things kind of got a little better. But last year we had 5 or 6. But that trail itself is gaining popularity. It's a combination of different trails from Key West to North Canada.
My goodness, that's a serious hiker.
It is a serious hiker.
That's right. Well, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Kim and Nathan.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Home making you sick? Moisture and unsafe air from your crawl space can infiltrate your home, causing health hazards and high utility bills. Ox Foundation Solutions can remedy any mold or mildew problem in your home. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Nathan and Kimm Wright, who have the Pinhoti Outdoor Center here in Sylacauga to help you if you want to hike. If you're just like me, that you like to go hike for an hour or so, or if you want to do several days of hiking. We talked about the Pinhoti. What is the Pinhoti trail? I mean, what kind of terrain do you see? Lakes, roads, whatever?
Right, so we do. We've got it all. We've got ridges, we've got canyons, we've got lakes, creek crossings. A lot of people, when they talk about hiking, everybody knows the Appalachian Trail. The Pinhoti gets called, whether it's true or not, the mini AT. In a lot of ways, it's accurate because our terrain, it's the same. We're the Appalachian Mountains. We're in the Appalachians right here. So we have some tough sections. We have some rocky sections. We have some sections you're going to get wet when you cross that creek. There's no other way around it. But we have some beautiful views. We have some easier sections, give us a call. We'd love to help you plan a trip if you want to take your family out, or help find a section that you can do like that. So
I guess if you hike, I mean, you don't want to do the same thing. I mean, you don't want it to look the same the whole time.
That's
you want
right.
to see something different.
Right.
So that's great. Right here in Alabama,
Right
our
here in
beautiful
Alabama,
state. That's
yes.
great. What about safety on the trail?
We have, safety is important to us. A lot of what we do in our business is we help hikers who say, hey, look, I've got blisters, I can't work any further. So really, safety is something that we teach in the planning part of the hike. It's important for us to teach feet safety, water safety, make sure you stay hydrated, make sure you know, and plan ahead that it's hot outside right now. This is not necessarily the best time to be hiking 18 miles in 90 mile an hour winds, 90-degree weather.
Yeah.
It's very important to us to make sure that when people go out there, they carry the proper gear, carry the proper food. So we do explain that a lot in our sessions, talking to people about what's, especially new people who don't know what they're doing and get excited
or
about
even
being
don't know
outside.
our area.
Right.
I guess.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad y'all look at that part of it too.
Yeah.
For people like me who wouldn't know really anything.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about the Pinhoti's 350 miles long. Most people can't take, I don't even know how many days. It would take me years to hike that, I guess. But most people can't take all the time off from work to do that. But
Right.
can you do it in sections or?
You can. We have a lot of hikers that come in and just do day hikes, and what we do is help them plan the section that they know they can get dropped off in the morning and hike to their car, or we can pick them up on either end. There's so many beautiful sections that you can do in a day. There's so many sections that you can do just in a weekend if you want to spend the night out overnight. We've got sections all the way up through, there's 13
in Alabama.
13 in Alabama, 18 total. But you've got beautiful terrain, so you can choose kind of your difficulty level. We've got some sections that aren't quite as difficult as others, and some that are a little bit more difficult but less miles. So it's a great opportunity for people to get out with, just to be outside for a day, just to be outside for a weekend.
And if you wanted to complete the Pinhoti, you could do it. I mean,
One
it would take
section
you a
at a
long time, but sections at a time.
Average time for a through hiker is about 25 to 30 days to go the whole 350 miles. But with 13 sections in Alabama, if you did 1 or 2 a weekend, you can easily do it. If you did 1 a month, you can do it within a year or so.
Right. The time might not be so important, but just to say you set that goal and do it. That's great. That's great. I was reading at the library. We have several books on hiking, and these were Hiking Alabama. There are a lot of beautiful places in Alabama, right in here. And then A Walk in the Woods, which you said you've read this one.
Right.
It's kind of a humorous tale about a guy that hiked. I haven't read the whole book, but read some of it. So we have plenty of books on hiking. Now you guys have the specific information information for here and a lot of other information, but this is a good place just to see if this is something you might want to do. But this is not the time. It's too hot, right?
It's pretty hot. We do have people out there hiking right now, surprisingly, but it is very hot. And this time of year, the water sources are starting to dry up a little bit, so you got to be really careful. So we encourage you, if you want to go out now, plan, and plan for the worst. You can get in some bad situations with the heat and no water.
Oh gosh, yes. And the best time to start is maybe October. I think that's what you were telling me.
Yeah, end of September, beginning of October, when the weather starts to cool down. Our season goes usually September to May, and we've seen a large growth of numbers, in the last year of just those months and people wanting to be outside. So it's been amazing for us.
I'm glad. Now, I listened to a podcast that y'all did, so I was really excited. That's where I learned a lot of things to ask you about. That was fun. I know you enjoy sharing.
We do enjoy that.
You do. Yeah, that's great. Was it your it's a podcast done by
Jester Hikes. Jester Section Hiker does a podcast out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So, she did a piece on entrepreneurs on the trail, so we spoke with her about that.
Well, now you mentioned section hiker. What exactly is that?
So just a section hiker is just somebody who's not going to hike the whole trail at once. They're going to just do a section at a time. And it doesn't have to be a predefined section like we have the trail broken out into sections. They could do whatever piece they want. They can go shorter or longer, and just their goal is to finish the whole trail, but to do it in just sections.
Okay, just like we talked about.
Right.
Right. So the other type person would be somebody that wants to start and they're going to finish.
That's a through hiker, and you can have day hikers who don't care about doing the whole trail. They may just go to the same part every time, and they like it. They just want to go back there. So.
Great. Do y'all hike?
We do. I would call myself a section hiker, a day hiker, sometime a weekend backpacker. But Nathan, I'll let you share a little bit
I'm
about
a hiker. I love to hike. I've hiked Georgia to Maine, and I've hiked the Pinhoti. So I love hiking. I love staying out in the woods and being out there.
Wow, that's great. That's probably not what I would love to do, but like I said, I do love to go. I can remember going to Gatlinburg and hiking, when I was in my 20s, and just loving being outdoors. There's nothing. And I do think COVID-19 has seen a lot of people doing outdoor activities.
Absolutely.
You can social distance.
Yeah.
Yep, you can. It's especially on the Pinhoti. We don't have the crowds on this trail like you might hear about on the Appalachian Trail, but we're having a lot of people hiking, and we never see people out in June, July, but we are this year.
Yeah. People ready to get out of the house.
That's right.
They are.
That's great. And they have the time.
That's right.
That's great. Now, there is a big race. Is it the Pinhoti race?
There's a Pinhoti Trail Series race. There's and they have several throughout the year, and then their big one is in November. It's the Pinhoti 100. It's a 100-mile run, mostly on the Pinhoti Trail. Starts up above Heflin and comes all the way down to Sylacauga.
Wow, that's a long.
They have
100 miles.
100 miles.
250, 300 runners from all over the world that show up. It's a very nice race. It's
I've seen the signs up, and it's really great. Like we've said this before, but just to bring people to our area,
That's right.
to Sylacauga.
And we encourage people too at that race. It always ends on Sunday afternoon. That most of the runners are done by 1 o'clock. And encourage people to come out and cheer them on and see these people who have see what it looks like when you run 100 miles in 36 hours.
Oh my goodness. I hope somebody would be there cheering for me if I made it that far. I thought that is great.
It is great. It's amazing.
Well, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Home making you sick? Moisture and unsafe air from your crawl space can infiltrate your home, causing health hazards and high utility bills. Ox Foundation Solutions can remedy any mold or mildew problem in your home. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Hello, welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Nathan and Kimm Wright with the Pinhoti Outdoor Center here in Sylacauga. They provide all kinds of services. There they are, and there's the phone number. You're on Facebook and in Instagram, is that right? To find out what's going on and see some slides of what they do. Encouraging us to get outside. That's
Absolutely.
Right. That's great. Now, I know I heard about you from my director, Tracy Thomas, because y'all are on the board at the chamber. Is that correct? Yes. She said, "Oh, you need to interview Kimm because that's just a great thing you brought to our community."
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very honored to be on the board of directors this year for the Chamber of Commerce. Something I truly believe in, and it's been a great benefit for me to learn more about Sylacauga, but also to be able to give back to Sylacauga.
Yes, so, well, we do appreciate the people you bring in to our community here. That's great. A lot of work goes into that. I know Laura has to be busy.
She's amazing.
Isn't
she
she
does
great?
an amazing job.
She does. Yeah, I love that we're bringing more attention to our beautiful city. This is my home, so I love Sylacauga. And Nathan, you are the co-chair of the Alabama Hiking Trail Society. Is that correct?
Right, on the board of directors for the Alabama Hiking Trail Society. We're a statewide nonprofit that our sole mission is to build and maintain trails throughout the state, hiking trails. And just recently, in the last few years, we've taken on, through the Alabama Forestry Commission, we've taken on kind of a lead role on Flag Mountain. So our role at Flag Mountain, actually our local chapter, which I'm very involved in, is the Lower Pinhoti Flag Mountain chapter. And we're responsible for maintaining, caretaking, improving, all under the guidelines of the forestry of Flag Mountain. We're opening the gates. Right now we're open for day use. We're trying to get it back open for overnight use. With all this mess we're trying to work through, just waiting on the green light for that. But come visit Flag Mountain. It's beautiful up there.
I've heard great things about that. Families that go and when you could spend the nights or a cabin or something.
It's an old CCC camp from the 30s that they built, and the cabins are still standing. We've got new roofs. We've remodeled some of them, put in a couple of bathrooms, and it's great up there. It's beautiful.
It's a nice place to get away, but you don't have to travel so
Travel
far.
too far. That's right.
That's great.
It's beautiful up there.
Now, we talked about, you talked about maintaining the trails. I never thought about that. Trees fall, all kinds of things happen.
Right.
And y'all take care of that. Huh?
We do. We the AHTS Society, we have work crews, work weekends. We go out and do maintenance. But we also have other maintainers on the Pinhoti all up and through the state, which we have some amazing maintainers.
These guys spend more time on the trail than
right.
I bet.
So we get hikers out there. They say, hey, there's a especially after a bad storm. Say, hey, if you walk through and you see something bad on the trail, let us know, and we can let the maintainers know, and we'll go out there and clean it up, get it cleared up for the hikers. This time of year is tough because everything grows up in this humidity and this heat.
Yeah, that's true.
Poison ivy and stuff like that. But maintainers keep it cleared out for the trail, and it's great.
That's great. That is great. And you do rely on hikers to tell you all of that, I know.
Some of and some of it we'll just, all right, we'll pick a section and hike through with our weed eaters and loppers and chainsaws and just spend all day working.
It's not such a fun hike there, but it's what you do there, and I know the hikers appreciate that a lot. So make it where people can enjoy it. Now you have a grand opening coming up. I know you're open right now.
Yeah, we are open, and we've kind of held off our official grand opening until September of this year as part of a project we're working on to provide a trail kickoff every year for our hiking season. So that is going to be September 26th. We'll be at the Outdoor Center for a ribbon cutting, and we'll have some vendors out there. A lot of hikers will be there, so if you want to come and meet some interesting people and spend some time with hikers and kind of get that vibe of what happens. It's going to be an amazing weekend.
Fun. Well, that's September 26th.
September
right?
26th.
Follow
9
them
a.m.
on Facebook. And
Absolutely.
You'll find out a lot of what's going on there. Well, I know you must have some really interesting stories. You may not want to share with some of the hikers, but a lot of fun things. I'm sure a lot of scary things have happened on the trail, but.
There is. A lot of people get scared of wildlife, and there's wildlife out there, but it's nothing to be scared of. There's, the main thing is plan ahead. We're both Leave No Trace trainers, and that is a set of ethics to live by when you're in the woods, mostly about, not leaving anything behind, polluting, but it's also about how you interact with others on the trail. And really about your safety too. And the number one rule is to plan ahead. If you don't plan ahead, you're asking for trouble. So.
Wow. So you said y'all are trainers, Leave No Trace trainers.
Yes.
Do you do classes or?
We can, yes.
Yes.
We can teach people the 7 principles of leaving no trace in the woods. And it's actually a great principle for just life too.
Yeah.
It's not just in the woods, but it's
I think so.
it's a great program.
Wow, that's interesting.
It is.
So your phone number is 256?
It's 205.
Sorry.
That's all right.
That's all right.
205-202-9525.
Okay.
You can call or text that number. We answer it most of the time. Sometimes we're on a shuttle out in the middle of nowhere, don't have signal, but we'll get right back to you. Leave a message or send a text. A lot of people like to text today, so.
Right. Oh yeah. No
Yeah.
phone calls, just text. So when you're mentioning phones, does your phone work on the trail? I mean, it just depends on where you are.
Most parts
That's
of
how
the
I
trail
think
here, it does. It depends on who your carrier is, but
Sure.
most of the time you can get at least a text out.
Okay.
But
Yeah, there's a couple of
there's a
places.
couple
There's
places.
some canyons you go through that are going to be no signal, but then there's some real remote areas that you don't. But yeah, I might say most of the trail you'd be fine.
That's true when you're driving too.
Yeah.
Some places
that's true.
work and some places don't. But I know you can't say enough how important it is to plan ahead.
Absolutely.
So if you're waiting on a hiker to come out down here and they don't show up,
That's right.
something's going on.
Yeah,
Right.
and we do keep track of our hikers too. It's very important for us to know if we put them into the woods, just to reach out to them and say, hey, how was your hike? If they're hiked to their car, then they usually know, hey, we're out. So it just kind of lets us know that, the mama bear still comes out me every once in a while, and I worry about it.
Oh, I know it does. Gosh.
But it's the job is it's the best job. It's a great job.
So y'all are 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, sort of.
Pretty much.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's exciting because people hike. I would think hike during the day, but I guess they do overnight too.
We do have a lot of night hikers. We've actually guided some night hikes before, full moon hikes, and that's a lot of fun too. You don't realize how bright the moon is until you're out hiking in it without a flashlight, and it's pretty amazing.
Without a flashlight.
Without a
Okay.
flashlight.
Wow. Well, that is exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we just appreciate all you do for our community with bringing this to our community, and look forward to your grand opening in September.
Thank you so
and
much.
remember, if you want to go on a hike, you can read a little bit about it, and then call Nathan and Kim, and they will fix you up with all the right, help you with equipment and the planning and knowing what to do. So, thank you guys for coming to Sylacauga and opening the Pinhoti Outdoor Center.
Well, thank you for having us
I'm
today.
glad you were here, and thank you for joining us on Library Connection.